Okay, so the next question is your first time. My first time is Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new video, and once again I am completely ill in this video, so nothing's changed. Still dying from some unknown diseases in my throat, and one could only imagine what they're caused by. What am I saying? Today we're doing a super fun video. So I'm going to be giving gay advice because I'm a big gay. So this video is all inspired by the childhood signs I was gay. If you haven't checked out that video right yet, then do so right here. Click on my hand. Somehow I'm gonna have to edit that in. I'm so bad at editing. You guys seem to really love that video and it went down really well, and just reading the comments was so freaking good to hear your stories that I thought I had to do another kind of LGBT gay kind of advice video, but just make it a little bit funnier. And I can guarantee in this video that you guys, that's right, you right now, no matter who you are, what you're doing, you can let me know down below if you want to let me know what you're doing. I don't know. Hopefully it's something sensible though, right? Yeah. Regardless, anyway, where was I? No matter who you are, this video is going to be useful for you. I am literally covering a lot of questions very quickly. I've picked the very best questions that you guys gave me on Instagram. If you're not following me, follow me here. This one goes down well, then I'll definitely do another one. So if you want to get involved, definitely follow my Instagram. We're going to start off with the very first question. So for the very first one, Porn says, I have no idea where my sexuality lies. Now I've got one thing to say to you, don't worry about it, keep your spirits high and just be relaxed about it. Like, I didn't know where my sexuality lay until I was like 19, 20, and that was like a year ago now. So don't worry, relax. Some people still haven't come out and they're 50 yet, and it really doesn't matter. Come out when you want to, and just the number one tip is to experiment when you're ready. But apart from that, if you're not ready to experiment and find out, just relax about it and don't worry. It's not a big thing. As my phone goes smashing to a million pieces on the ground. Number 2, trying to be the cool gay when everyone thinks you're the stereotypical camp gay. Now of course, what they don't know is there's actually a bottom and a top, right? It's very stereotypical to say that the bottom is the more camp one, but it just genuinely tends to be. However, why are you trying to be the cool one? Just be yourself. Honestly, just be yourself, and then your personality is the only one that matters. Gays don't actually have a typical personality. I'm gay and I'm a complete weirdo. If I'm walking in the street, you probably wouldn't be able to tell, apart from my atrociously clothed body. Yeah. Tom Sutton says, I always struggle showing affection to my boyfriend in public or my family. Trust me man, Nick and myself still struggle a lot in public to show each other affection, kiss, hold hands. You know, it happens so easily when you've had a few bevies down you and you're a little bit tipsy. We struggle quite a lot actually, and I think it's ever since Florida where we got called gay fags out the window by a car driving past that kind of really scarred us. We're kind of a bit slow getting back into it. The world isn't so... Oh, the light! Oh, I'm getting blinded! Oh gosh, go away, I don't want to see you. Oh god, look at this lighting. I don't know where I was at, but we basically just don't hold hands that often. There are occasional times where it'll feel right to hold hands or kiss in public, but Nick especially, and somewhat myself, we don't want to be that couple that's just snogging in the pool, in McDonald's, like, just absolutely necking each other. That's just not us. I wouldn't worry if you struggle in public, because, everybody finds everything just as hard as each other. So thank you, Tom, for that question. And we'll move on to Liam and Snoop. How do you tell your parents that you are LGBT? So basically what I did is I got outed by my sister a few times, and then eventually had the courage to tell my parents. I wanted to tell them way before I did, but every time I went downstairs about 9 times, I always came running up just crying my eyes out. Either they would go down and start an argument with me about something random. Whatever the case, I ended up not saying it about 9 times. Eventually I got the courage to just say, Mum, Dad, I've got a boyfriend, and they were completely fine with it. And then I just bawled my eyes out, and they asked me why was I bawling my eyes out. If you're ready to come out, come out. If you're not, then don't. There's no reason to push it whatsoever. People say, how do you do it? Well, you simply just tell them, and it's gonna be the hardest thing you're ever gonna do. But when I did it in my circumstances, because I knew my parents were gonna take it okay, I just simply had to build enough courage and just say it. And when I wanted to say it, I knew it wasn't exactly the right time, but there's never going to be the perfect time. You're always gonna be nervous as hell, and sometimes you just gotta say fuck it and just do it. Fear Depression and anxiety is the next question. It's not really a question, is it, Tanner? I have to say one thing about this. Fear, you're always gonna have fear. As humans, we need fear in our lives to have something to, you know, scare us and release endorphins. And depression, well, that's kind of caused by, if you're anxious, then you can't deal with your situation. So address the situation, deal with it. You'll soon find solutions for that situation. You just have to address it. It's kind of hard to address your issues head on, because all you want to do is curl up in a ball on the sofa and watch Netflix. Anxiety is only there because your problem is bigger than the way you're going to be able to solve it, if that makes sense. I don't know. Let's go on to the next question, okay? Dating advice from Glorious Glory. What is up with me dropping my phone? I would suggest, if you're really looking for someone, you probably won't find someone. It's just when you're not expecting them, they'll come, and they're the real ones. In some cases, not all. You know, I just recommend Tinder if you're really struggling with finding someone through work, school, youth centers, whatever you want to find them through, like your favorite sport maybe. Of course, be wary who you're dating and who you're finding, because, you know, they could always catfish you. Let's go on to the next question. Having to tell my real friends I'm straight. Oh wait, I just read that really wrong. Having to tell my really straight friends that you're gay. In my case, I told all my mates and they were completely fine with it. Straight lads in the UK anyway, they tend to be okay with it. They're just comfortable with who they are, really, as straight people and liking girls, so they don't tend to really care that much in general. If they're your true mates, then they shouldn't really care, should they? And if they're not, well, you just found out that you need a new friendship group, and the sooner you find out that, the better, right? So I wouldn't worry. Do you have an LGBT role model? My role model is probably going to be Kevin Abstract, I reckon. A black gay rapper, and he's, I think it's just because he's gay and he's in hip hop and rap culture. It's just kind of admirable, the fact that he can be who he is in such a tough environment. It's just good to see, really. Hey Tom 1401 says, being out and changing your mind, came out as trans but feel non-binary now. What I would recommend to do is only come out when you're 100% sure of yourself and who you are, because then it just saves people confusion. However, people change, man. Who you are changes as you go through life, so completely understandable that, you know, you came out as trans and then you now identify as this. You could just throw labels out the window and just be yourself without everyone needing to know. However, I just super believe you will change, and especially if you came out young, or, you know, as you're a teenager, you're still growing mentally, you might not 100% always know who you are. I don't think there's really much problem re-identifying yourself if that's truly how you feel you are at that point. I don't know if I identified that question very well at all. Let's just throw labels out the window and just be who we are. Okay, so the next question is your first time. I don't really know what you mean by that, because you're not allowed sex before marriage, guys. However, you know, my first time is pretty embarrassing. I hated it. Well, I liked it. It was just quite embarrassing. And, you know, first times are always embarrassing, and they're never going to be the best because they're your first time. And there's not much more to say to that. So if you want a full video on my first time, then I am probably willing to describe it in every single little bit of detail. Everyone's first time is embarrassing though, so yeah, there's no worries about that. Anyway, let's go on to the final question. How to come out to Christian, religious, homophobic parent. We've got to identify whether coming out is really something that we feel that we really need to do at that moment. Because if it's not, don't worry, just chill, relax. However, I completely understand that, you know, you just want to be who you are to everyone. It's just so scary, and you just want to just say that word finally and be who you are. If your parents are homophobic and it's clear to see that 100% are homophobic, they won't accept you. If you're not in a comfortable situation financially, or you have somewhere to fall back on, if they really don't accept you, I don't think at this current point that it's worth coming out. However, if you put yourself in a comfortable position to fall back on and you know where you're going to go if all things collapse and go wrong, definitely come out. Just tell them who you are, and you might be surprised that they might accept you, like most parents should. My mum's Christian. I guess she reads the Bible. I don't know. But she accepted me who I was because I'm her son at the end of the day, and that's what truly should matter over anything in her life. So I hope I answered that question. At the end of the day, it's up to you. Make sure you're safe, and if you feel like you really have to at this point, then do it. Alright guys, so I hope you enjoyed this video. It was super serious, and it didn't help that I'm completely ill. If you heard my raspy voice throughout the whole video, Thank you for watching up to this point. Comment down below aloe vera if you watched up to this point. And without further ado, guys, make sure to hit a fat like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you all in the very next video. I've never done that in my life. What am I doing?